There's something most of us don't say out loud. We give really good advice. The kind that lands. The kind that makes people pause, exhale, feel seen. Sometimes we say exactly the thing another person needed to hear, right when they needed it. And that's not random. That's not luck. That's something moving through us. There's an instant knowing that lives beneath thought, a quiet intelligence that speaks before logic catches up. You felt it, especially when you're talking to someone you care about. The words arrive fully formed, timed, precise, and later you think, how did I even know what to say? Here's a bridge we don't always cross. If that knowing can move through you for someone else, it can move through you for yourself. Because words that heal another nervous system are not exempt from healing your own. This isn't about calling yourself out. It's about calling yourself home. Just pause for a moment and let this land. With a little bit of grace and honesty, the noise softens. With a little bit of grace and honesty, the body remembers how to settle. The truth is, most people don't feel like practicing what they preach because they lack discipline. They drift because life gets loud. Bills show up, emotions surface, old patterns reappear, energy scatters, and suddenly the wisdom you know becomes something you admire from a distance instead of living inside of. Let's reframe this. Practicing what you preach is not a performance. It's a relationship. It's staying loyal to your own knowing in small, human ways. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need a perfect system. You need one. One honest point of contact between what you say and what you do. Maybe today looks like this. If you're overwhelmed with projects, don't force clarity. Create a window. Give yourself 2 hours. Write each project down, task, put them in a container, and let one be chosen. Not because fate is magic, because your nervous system relaxes when it doesn't have to decide everything at once. Or, if you believe in warmth, in connection, in being open, practice it where it feels safe. Saying good morning, a sincere compliment, a moment of presence, not to become someone new, but to remember who you already are. And while you move through your day, let these words move with you. I begin by telling myself the truth, and from that truth, I remember the wisdom I already carry. Those small moments when you follow through builds evidence, and evidence builds trust. And trust calms the nervous system. This is how integrity stops feeling heavy and starts feeling like relief. Think about it for a second. When you have a little bit of grace and honesty, does clarity replace urgency? Has it replaced urgency? Can it replace urgency? This is how integrity stops feeling heavy. It starts feeling like relief. Because with a little bit of grace and honesty, clarity replaces urgency. And with a little more of grace and honesty, self-trust begins. You know what happens quietly when you start practicing what you preach? Your inner voice steadies. You stop questioning every instinct. Your body learns that your words are safe to believe. You keep small promises to yourself. And over time, those promises stack. Not into pressure, into confidence. It's not hype. You're grounding. And eventually something shifts. You're no longer trying to convince yourself. You're just living in alignment with what you already know. And from that alignment, you keep the promises you make to yourself. And from those promises, you become someone you can rely on. And from that reliability, life begins to respond differently. You didn't force it. You began to show up for yourself. So I'll leave you with a few questions. Not to answer right now, just to let it echo. Where have your words already been guiding you? What advice do you give effortlessly but live hesitantly? And what would you change if you trusted that the knowing moving through you was meant for you too? Sit with that.